Welcome, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Let us know where you're joining us from.
Mark from Maryland, welcome back. Hi, Sherry. Welcome.
Hi, Sherry.
Thanks for joining us. The rest of you, don't be shy. Let us know where you're calling in from.
Detroit and North Carolina.
Let us know too if you're going to be cooking along with us or cooking after.
Nice
I'm
to
cooking
see you.
Way after when I get back.
Welcome. Well, our own Candace is going to be cooking along with the presentation today, so
yes,
we're going to get to see her finished.
You'll see.
Product
You'll see how well I do. Oh, I'm just peeling my garlic right now, trying to get ahead of the game. I know the ladies they're going to have all of their ingredients pre-prepped for them, just like they're in Gordon Ramsay's kitchen. So I'm trying to catch up.
Plymouth, Michigan's in the house.
Hey, Christine. So glad you could join us. She and I are BFFs.
Just a note to everyone in the chat here, if you want to change where it says to, if you want to change it to all panelists and attendees, then everyone else can see what you're saying. Otherwise, it just goes to us. So that just helps keep the conversation going.
Good tip, Angela. I forget to say that.
Yeah, we got to look into that one, but.
Wonderful. We'll give it just another 30 seconds or so, and we will get started.
So have you tried this recipe before? Heidi, you said you were going to cook afterwards. Did you?
No, I just looked it over and it looks like something I would like when I am eating normally because I'm not eating normally right now.
Oh, that's right. You're observing the Lenten season.
Yep.
You're without the meat. I know we normally are, but all things Orthodox right now. I'm, going off the reservation.
It's all good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Welcome to today's cooking class and visit to Morocco. I don't know about you guys, but when I see pictures like this for Morocco, after the kind of doom and gloom that we've had for the last year, to see these vibrant colors really is just fantastic. It really breathes life back into things, and it's spring. So, we're on to bigger and better things for this year. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, welcome. For those of you who have come back and are joining us for one of our many virtual vacations, we welcome you back and hope to actually be able to travel with all of you in person, hopefully in the near future. So as we continue, Eat, Drink, Travel started last April. We were all told it was just going to be 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and if we all did everything we needed to, we'd be back up and operating as normal. Obviously, that was not the case because we're still, depending on where you are within the country, under different travel restrictions or restrictions in general. So this started as a way to keep people inspired, stay away from the doom and gloom, offer something to look forward to. And that was really how Eat, Drink, Travel was formed. I'm Maria Stephanopoulos. I'm in the greater Tampa Bay area. We also have Susan Schaefer from Ships and Trucks Travel, and she's in the greater Tennessee, Columbia, Nashville area, who's unfortunately not able to join us today. We have Angela Isherwood, who's here with us from the Milwaukee area, Candace Stearns from Stay Balanced Travel in the Detroit area, and Heidi Thies from Benvenuto Travel Design in the Steamboat Springs, Colorado area. Ways you can connect with us, and we encourage you to do so. We have 2 different Facebook groups that you're welcome to join, both Take a Virtual Vacation and Eat, Drink, Travel. We also have a YouTube channel where you can catch up on our past virtual vacations. And let me just correct that and say you can also in the Facebook groups. And you can meet with us in person. We've all started meetups in our local communities, and we will put our contact information along with where you can find us in the chat as we move forward. So to visit Morocco is like turning the pages of sublimated Persian manuscript, all embroidered with bright shapes and subtle lines. And as I said with that first picture, you can just see the colors, the landscape. You have the difference between being by the coast, the water, in the mountains, or even in the desert. It's just an amazing destination. At this point, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to hand it over to Mariama, who is our guest presenter today from Explore Morocco, and she's going to share with us what an ideal itinerary would look like when visiting Morocco. Welcome, Mariama. Thank you so much for joining us. And everybody, just so you know, she is live in Morocco.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Maria, for the nice introduction. I am Mariama, the Business Development Manager at Experience Morocco here in Casablanca, saying hello to someone who said they were in North Carolina. We're almost on the same latitude as Casablanca, so we should have the same weather today. We are Maria's how can I say that, like local partners on the ground, and we partner with all the ladies here to design itineraries for Morocco and just offer amazing experiences and memories. What I would present today is one sample itinerary. Everything we do is fully customized, so that's just to give you a small idea about the things you could see and do in Morocco. And I'm going to start right away by sharing my screen. Let me know, ladies, if you can see it.
Yep, we can see your screen.
Perfect. So we will be looking at a very quick 1-week itinerary. I wish most of you could give us a little bit more time to visit, but I know it's typically 1 week in general. We're looking here at a map of Morocco. In case you don't know where we are exactly, we're very, very close to Europe. So a 30-minute ferry drive from southern Spain to Tangier, and a 6.5-hour to 7-hour flight from New York JFK. So we're pretty close. Like, people think of Africa as a very far continent, but we're pretty close too. We're pretty well centrally located, I would say. Only a few hours from Europe, a few hours from the west coast of the US, or the east coast to be more precise. So generally, you would arrive to Casablanca Airport, which is our point A on the map here. That's the biggest airport in Morocco. It has most of the, it's very well connected to the rest of the world. If you're flying through Europe, though, you might end up landing in Marrakech. Marrakech is very well connected to Europe. So if you're coming through Spain or through France, you might land in Marrakech. But the typical itinerary for 1 week would be landing in Casablanca, staying one night in either Casablanca or Rabat. Casablanca is the biggest city in Morocco. It's very well known for the movie, even though it's not really reflective of what Casablanca is like in reality. It's a very big, loud corporate city. I love living here, but from a tourist point of view, there isn't much to see. Well, there is a beautiful mosque and there's a drink at Rick's Cafe if you're really a fan of the movie Casablanca. But that's it. So half a day or one night is more than enough. Then you go to Rabat, the capital of Morocco, that has more greenery and more history. Then generally you would go to Fez. After that, Fez is the cultural epicenter of Morocco. So if you're thinking the old Medina, like the small alleyways, and if you're thinking artisanry work, like the small Moroccan tiles or the woodwork or everything beautiful is generally in Fez. They have the best artisans, some of the best Moroccan cuisine, except for La Maison Arabe, which is where our school is located in Marrakech. But generally, Fez is very well known for the refined cuisine of Morocco. So you would spend 2 to 3 nights there, depending on how much time you have, just visiting the historical sites and wandering in the Medina. The Medina is the word for city in Arabic. And this is how we refer to the old part of the city in each Moroccan town. So typically you would have like the historical city surrounded by a wall, like a fortress. And then when the city started expanding, like they weren't able to fit any more houses inside. So we started building outside and these became the new cities and the Medina is the old city. So it has the biggest and oldest Medina in Morocco, more than 12 centuries old. And just the way of life and the architecture is still preserved until today. Your next stop after visiting Fez would generally be the Sahara Desert for that one-night glamping experience in a luxury desert camp with the camel ride, the sunset when you arrive there over the dunes, then the sunrise the following morning. And you also get introduced to like a very different component of Moroccan culture there because the nomads are still living in the Sahara Desert. They have their own way of life, their own cuisine, their own music. So you get to experience that for one night. And then your next stop is generally Marrakech after that, most famous city in Morocco. But simply because the drive is very long, we would need to break up the drive and add like point E, have you spend a night somewhere in that area. So in terms of driving times, between Fez, C, and D, Merzouga, it's about 8 hours that you do in one day. So you would depart from Fez. If you were to travel in March, for example, you would see the snow, the forests, the sand dunes in one day, just in that drive. It's a very scenic drive. It's long, yes, but when we ask our guests after they arrived to Merzouga, was it worth it? Everyone says it was worth every second spent in that car. So that's the price for it, for the magic of the Sahara Desert. So after that, you would go to Marrakech. Marrakech is, as I said, the most famous city in Morocco. It has the best hotels, I mean, the best hospitality infrastructure in the country. Sorry. Also, one second, please. What's happening? Okay, it's allergy season.
Here
Yes,
too.
for us too.
Thanks.
No worries, no worries.
And I just got a new carpet delivered to my home today, so it's probably that.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that,
sorry.
that could do.
So I'm
No,
saying,
that's
yeah.
okay.
Also,
Take a sip of water. It's okay.
also in terms of experiences and activities, The offer is just amazing. You can do DIY workshops with local artisans. You can do a small excursion to a nearby desert called the Agafay Desert for a desert-like experience because it's rocky, it doesn't have any sand dunes. But for those who don't have time to go to the real Sahara, it can be an option. You can go hiking just 1 hour outside of Marrakech in the Atlas Mountains area. And just the Medina itself is so beautiful, and like the shopping experience, all the cute little shops. The main square of Marrakech, which is unfortunately empty now, but that was my first picture. It's like an open theater with musicians and food stalls, and it's just a magical place. So Marrakesh, we would typically suggest, please, not less than 3 days, 3 nights. If you still have time, even 4 or 5 nights, you would still have plenty of things to discover and do there. So that's what a 1 week itinerary would typically look like. I'm just going to walk you through a few pictures to explain a few things and a few words you will be hearing when you come to Morocco. So there is a word riad, R-I-A-D. A riad is a traditional Moroccan house. They all have this typical U-shaped architecture with a courtyard and a fountain in the center. And these riads, a few years back, used to be family homes where 3 or 4 generations of the same family would live. But unfortunately, like, we're not living the same way anymore. So these houses have been abandoned for a very, very long time, and they're so beautiful, very traditional and like palaces. And within the last, I would say, 15 to 20 years, people started renovating them and transforming them into like luxury boutique hotels because they were just wasted in the Medinas. So if you come to Morocco, we really, really encourage you, if you want to try something authentic, like small size boutique, to go for riads at least 1 or 2. We do have beautiful hotel chains, chain hotels in Morocco, but I don't think it is comparable just to the intimacy and the experience, the authentic experience of a riad. So that's something you should keep in mind. I'm showing you some pictures of the luxury camps that you would be spending a night in if you were to go to Merzouga, with the beautiful outdoor setups. We're looking here at a very small mountain lodge on the way between the Sahara and Marrakech, where we would have you just break up the drive and stay for 1 night. And we're getting now to La Maison Arabe, like our best and preferred partner. We've been working with them since Experience Morocco was born. What you should know about this beautiful riad in Marrakech is that they also have a cooking school, which is the school we'll be having the cooking workshop with today. It's also very, very famous in Marrakech because they have on property the first Moroccan restaurant of Marrakech. So Moroccans aren't very known for going to a restaurant to eat Moroccan. That's normally something you eat at home, and you would go outside to try other specialities and other types of food. But La Maison Arabe was the very first Moroccan restaurant opening in Marrakech in the 20s. The food is just amazing. And I will hand it over back to Maria now to introduce Hasna so that we can start working on your first tagine, maybe, not your last, hopefully. And we'll make sure to have you experience this cooking class in person when you decide to come.
Thank you so much for giving us that overview. And we did have a question about with what you were showing us. And everybody, please know these are totally customizable. Mariama just gave us a high-level overview of what you can see, do, and experience while there. We will be sending out, as usual, a copy of an itinerary for you. And obviously, if you have any questions about what can be included, let us know. We're happy to go over all of that with you.
And Miriam, there was another question in regards to pricing. So for just a taste of $1 per day for hotel accommodations and things like that, can you just provide that level of 4-star type accommodation pricing that you typically have for the client?
Of course. So I would say that the itinerary in general, and that would include your accommodation, a private car and driver with you, and a private guide. If we're talking about a double room, it can start from $350 per room per night. And we will be looking at a mix of 4 and 5-star Riyadh accommodations on that. Sky is the limit, of course. If you pick La Mamounia, Royal Mansour, hotels that cost at least $1,000 a night, that's another story. But in order to do Morocco properly, it doesn't have to be crazy expensive. I mean, we're flexible. We work with different, different calibers of hotels. The only thing I would recommend, and I would share with you, is that we're not comfortable booking anything less than a 4-star hotel.
Right.
Because a 4-star hotel isn't always a 4-star hotel in Morocco, and a 5-star hotel, like there are 4 stars that are better than other 5 stars.
That's why I wanted you to address that. Yeah, it's very similar to when you go to Europe. It's the same thing. People in the United States, if they haven't traveled a lot abroad, may not know that. And so that's why I wanted to ask the question too. Thank you.
Exactly. And like we know some properties that, you know, have, I don't know how many million viewers or followers on Instagram, but then because we know them, I mean, yeah, you might pick a hotel based on the pictures you see online, but it's a full Riyadh and they probably have that one Instagrammable corner where everyone goes to take a picture, but the rest isn't, Then when you think Morocco and Riyadh, they're generally in the old Medina. You have to think about accessibility, how far they are from the nearest parking where a car can drop you, is it a safe area, etc. So there are other like factors you need to factor in when picking a hotel. And that's why for a destination such as Morocco, like really need someone on the ground to be able to give you that information. I mean, we do travel alone when we go to Europe or like, you know, some easy destinations. If you were to go to Rome, you don't necessarily, you can figure it out yourself. But in a few destinations like Morocco, you truly need someone to make sure everything goes very seamlessly.
And this is why we always recommend a travel advisor. We, as well as you, Mariama, stake our reputation on what we book people into. And just like I love that comment about the Instagrammable corner, because we do see that a lot. And it's all about making sure our clients are taken care of in the way they think they're going to be taken care of.
Yeah, and Candace, thanks for bringing up that question about the hotel properties, because definitely as far as here in the States, we're used to a certain standard for a particular star level property. And you do find that in other parts of the world, it doesn't quite equal. So, all right, now having said that, let me.
We're excited to get to cooking.
All right, I'm gonna stop your screen share, Miriam. I'm gonna take it back over. And I'm going to hand the host over to Hasna. Okay, Hasna, it is all you. Hasna is our contact over at La Maison Arabe. Did I say that right, first of all? I want to make sure I pronounce everything correctly. And she is with Data Habiba. Data, if I remember correctly, means chef. And they're going to take us through our cooking class for today. Welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. Hi, everyone. I'm very happy with Dada Habiba to host you and take you in a virtual cooking experience from La Maison Arabe. And we are going to have a very delicious tagine with Dada Habiba making for you today. Not only that, she's going to make you special Moroccan drinks that you are going to enjoy making at home later. Dada Habiba the word Dada means the Moroccan female chef. It's a respectful title for addressing a chef here in Morocco. She's very resourceful, and she's always happy to share her secret recipes with the guests. As Mariama told you, that if you want to learn about the Moroccan cuisine, you have to get to the heart of the kitchen, because not a lot of Moroccans eat at the restaurant. So restaurant is something which is recent. And the first Moroccan restaurant is La Maison Arabe here in Marrakech, which dates back to the 1946. Okay, it was first a restaurant, then a hotel Riyadh, then a cooking school, and our cooking school is the first, I think, Moroccan cooking school in Africa, and we are happy to have the Habiba cooking with us today. Yes, Maria, I would like you to make me able to be the
Yep.
monitor so I can share the screen.
Yep, you're all set. Perfect.
So Veronica asked a question. Is the Tangier part of Morocco? And I believe that's one of the cities that was on the itinerary.
Very good question. So all what we call a tagine is introduced by the Berbers, and the Berbers are the first inhabitants of Morocco. Not only tagines, there is another famous dish that we call couscous. Not 5 minutes couscous. I mean the 2 hours, 3 hours making couscous, which maybe you'll have the chance to experience when you come to Morocco. Couscous is a special dish that we make for Fridays for a family gathering, since Friday here in Morocco is a religious day. Tagine, it takes this format. It's like a round little pyramid. And whenever you want to cook in a tagine, you have to take some precautions. The first precaution, you should soak it in water before you use it, which is very important. And the second important precaution is using a metal diffuser. So a tagine is made of clay. You should never put it directly on the heat, otherwise it's gonna dry and it's gonna break quickly. Not only that, the food is gonna stick to the bottom of the tagine in case you put it directly on the heat. Tagine is the name of the pot, but we make lots of things, lots of recipes that you can make in this pot. There is chicken tagine with preserved lemon. There is the royal tagine, and I mean by the royal tagine, meat with caramelized, fruits. There is also the fish tagine with charmoula. Fish tagine with charmoula is a fish that is cooked in a marinade. There is the Berber vegetarian tagine. There is plenty of them. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. Before we start making the Kefta Tajin, which is quite a very famous dish in Morocco, I mean, it's highly recommended dish whenever you have a pop-up guest, which you can make in less than 1 hour. It's really easy to make and very tasty to serve to your guests. So Kefta Tajin, in English, meatball tajin, is something that we prepare with using these spices. So we have got pepper. You can use any type of pepper. You can use black pepper, white pepper. We have ground ginger. In case you don't have that, you can switch to the fresh ginger. You grate it. We have turmeric. It's for the color. We've got salt. We have got sweet paprika, which they call in Europe the Hungarian paprika. It's different from the smoked paprika. And cumin, very important. In Morocco, we use lots of cumin in our dishes. And we have got parsley and cilantro. We've got tomato, garlics. We've got eggs. And for the oil that we cook always with, it's always a mixture of olive oil mixed with sunflower oil, or you can mix it with any high temperature oil. You make it half-half because, olive oil is a low temperature oil. We don't want it to burn. We want the flavor. We want to keep it. Dada Habiba, نبداو. يلا على بركة الله. So I'll be translating for the Habiba. So the first thing we're gonna start with is the tomato. The Habiba is rinsing her tomato. Now she take the knife. We're gonna core the tomato, and I mean by coring, just taking the tip of the core like that, not all the way through, just the green part. Then she's gonna turn it over and start peeling the tomato from the bottom part. If you have any easier way to do it, like put it in boiling water, you can do that. Here in Morocco, most of the time we try to peel it fresh. So if you are in Morocco and you are served, a tagine, it should be like the main dish, okay? And they serve you appetizers with that. Dada Habiba. Now, Dada Habiba, and please, if we are ahead in time, you can tell us to wait for you, no rush. How are you doing, chef?
I'm not great at peeling a tomato.
You already grated that?
No,
Excellent.
I'm not. I'm not great. I do the boiling method, and I guess I didn't read. That's okay.
No problem. I mean, you can grate it. You can just chop it until it becomes like a tomato puree. I mean, be at ease. So for the Habiba, she prefers to slice it, dice it, and chop it very fine. Whenever the Habiba is working, you always see her with a smile because she tends to put all of her love to the dish she is making.
I'm trying to keep up.
No rush. You'll be our ambassadors, ladies. Spread that the Moroccan cuisine is delicious.
Definitely will. I'm going to take some liberties and not peel the tomato.
Candace, you can always squeeze it out of the skin too and then chop what's on the cutting board. That's what
I'm not letting the antioxidants and stuff in there go. So I'm going to keep it. Plus my dogs have already eaten enough.
There are plenty of ways to prepare the tomato. You can just slice them, into four, put them in a blender. Then you can, grind them. Then you put them to the tagine. You can do it the traditional way we do it, like peeling, slicing, dicing, and chopping it.
The puree sounds like a good idea too.
Yes. As you're gonna see, in the Moroccan cuisine, we don't use much processed food. There is no canned tomato, We tend to always make everything fresh, which is more healthy. Yes, Dada. By the way, I mean, if you don't have a tagine pot like what we have here, you can switch to le creuset, the French ceramic pot. It's a good replacement to a tagine, or you can use, cast iron, any heavy pot. The
I have a
purpose
cast iron tonight or today.
Okay, perfect. So what we want is a heavy pot. So it gives us a very slow mode of cooking. And why the tagine takes the shape of a pyramid shape, it's not just like that. It has a reason. And as you see, there is a little hole on top of the tagine, but it's not an open hole. It's closed. It's a way to preserve the water that you have in the tagine. So usually when the vapor goes up, it shouldn't be absorbed by the clay. So what we do, we fill this little hole with water to keep the top moist. So if the water that you have in the tagine, it goes up, it falls down. So you have the sauce preserved.
Okay, I have a funny thing to interject here.
Yes, go ahead.
I in a home I moved into a number of years ago, in the basement, there was one of these tangines. Is that how
Oh,
you?
nice.
But I didn't know what it was until today. And and I looked at it and I thought, now what on earth is this for? Because it was clearly different from, I'm actually a ceramics artist, and I could not figure out, it wasn't quite a casserole and all of that. And now I know what it is, and I'm so excited. Now I can really make the recipe.
What a coincidence. I'm happy for you. So it will be easy for you to try it at home the authentic way.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Can we see what her tomatoes look like? I just want to make sure I'm doing it good. Okay.
Candace, do you not see the big? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Is it clear? Look. It's like very diced, chopped very fine. But it doesn't matter if you have it, if you don't have it just like that, because while it's gonna cook, it's gonna, release the water and it's gonna be mushy. It doesn't matter.
Mine's mushy.
Great, excellent. So what you need now to do is to put it in the pot. And we're gonna add oil. So for the oil, we have such big wooden spoons, which equals 2 tablespoons. Okay? So what you need to add is 2 tablespoons of oil to the tomato.
And you said we should mix the olive oil with like an avocado oil or something with a higher temp range?
Exactly. Whatever you have as high temperature oil. Grape seeds oil, sunflower oil, vegetable oil. Whatever
I have avocados. So.
Go ahead. Yes, you can use that. Excellent. Once you put the oil, you mix the oil and the tomato. And when you turn on the heat, medium, yeah. It should be a medium heat, madam.
Got it.
Great, excellent. Now, I already heard you peeling the garlic. This is the next step.
Yep,
now,
I got that.
Excellent. Dada Habiba, has an interesting way of preparing her garlic. She smashes it with the big knife. She crushes it to take easily the peel of the garlic. Then she's gonna chop her garlic very fine.
I use this. It's a little garlic tool that you rub.
Yes.
Bam. And
Nice.
you just put it in there and
You invest in your time. Good.
I have gadgets.
Very good. Yeah, you did it. You know, before the 40s, if you come to Morocco and you want to eat a similar dish, there were no restaurants outside, and there should be a Moroccan family inviting you to their house to try, the food and the historical reasons why, there wasn't restaurants. The Moroccan society was like a patriarchal society. Work was divided. Men should work outside, and the housework should be done by women. So all of the cooking secrets and recipes were kept by women until the 40s, when two French ladies came to Marrakech to, start the first Moroccan restaurant. Their name is Sibirion La Rochette. They founded the restaurant, and when they were looking for a chef, they couldn't find, because there was no male chef who can cook Moroccan food. Then they were looking, thirsty to find a chef to work at the restaurant. By the help of the Pasha, the Pasha means the commander of Marrakech at that time, he gave them one of his best dadas to work at the restaurant, which he, had in his palace. In a very quick time, it became a must-to-go restaurant. And when we started having it as a hotel, the guests were very, curious about the dishes that were served to them at the restaurant's hotel. And, the founder of La Maison Arabe Riyad Hotel, Fabrizio Rospoli, he is a French-Italian prince, decided to, why not start, a small cooking workshop. So whenever we have a guest who would like to learn about the Moroccan cuisine, we can show the guest how to cook, from the source, by experienced dadas. So the idea was, brought to light like that. Then the cooking school started to grow, and we have now up till 42 workstations that we can, manage to have.
So I
We
added the garlic in. I saw her do that too, right?
Yes, please. Did you do that?
Yeah, I also put some shallots in. I love onions.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. If you are done with the garlic, now we're gonna take our parsley and cilantro, a combination of the two. Yalla means let's do that in Arabic. Yalla, let's do that. Let's go. Not only one meaning, different meanings. Yalla, let's do that. If you try the dishes that are, prepared in Marrakech, believe me, I would say it's the best, kitchen in all over Morocco. And it's because of the weather that is here, because, the spices that you use are very important in the result of the dish you are making. If you've got a humid weather, the spices loses, their smell and scent very easily. But if you have a dry weather like in Marrakech here, they all the time stay fresh. So if you cook with fresh spices, you're gonna have an amazing, delicious dish. As I said, cooking is like chemistry. If you combine this and this, it gives you an awesome result. Dada, after she chopped her parsley and cilantro, she divides it into two parts. Look at this, chef. After she chopped her parsley and cilantro, she divided it into two parts. One part we're gonna add it to the tomato sauce, and the other part we're gonna keep it for the ground meat.
All right, I got it.
Excellent. I can smell the parsley and the cilantro. It smells amazing.
I'm
With the
sure
garlic.
some people are anti-cilantro because it tastes like soap to them.
Yes.
It doesn't for me, but you don't have to put it in.
Yes, you can skip that. It doesn't make a big change.
I wish this was smell-o-vision. Oh, I could so be there right now. I would be loving this. I am loving it, but I'd really love it if I was in person.
We promise you this dish when you come to visit us.
I
I'm
see
there.
a group trip to Morocco with Eat, Drink, Travel meetups.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
what I
nice.
see.
Yes. We
Mhm.
should do that. Our
Well,
group, are you all of you attendees, make sure you put that in the chat of your various meetup groups, and let's see if we can drum up some interest, and maybe we'll put a group trip together, a pre-planned group trip.
ندير العطرية. Okay, chefs, we're gonna add spices now. Let's see with the Dada what are the spices. Yalla Dada. Okay, for the pepper, she's gonna add 1/4 teaspoon pepper. The tip of the teaspoon. You can add less if you don't like it spicy. If you can add more if you like it spicy. But you know the moderate amount is 1/4 teaspoon.
I love pepper. Got it.
Excellent. The same amount of ginger, 1/4 teaspoon. This combination of spices is amazing. And the same amount of turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon. So the measurements we are using today is for 2 people, 1 to 2 people. And cumin, 1/4
cumin.
teaspoon. Yes, you can add extra, madam. Quarter teaspoon paprika.
I have smoked paprika. It's wonderful.
Yeah, go ahead. And salt up to your taste. Dada added a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, but you can add extra salt if you like it salty. Then she mixes everything.
I have it all in my little cup. You probably can't see it. But and then put it in?
Sorry, what is it?
And just put it in, right?
شنو هي؟ Excuse me,
Just
what?
add it. You just add it, correct?
We added salt now.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna repeat the ingredients we added. So we started by the tomato, we added oil, garlic, parsley and cilantro. And for the spices, we have got 6 spices. We've got pepper, ginger, turmeric, cumin, paprika, and salt. So these are all the ingredients we have up till now in the tagine. Dada Habiba is closing the tagine. She's putting the top of the tagine. And now she will be using the other half of the parsley and the cilantro. Along with the ground meat. So this is an important step. we mix the parsley and the cilantro with the ground meat. And we're gonna add the same spices we added to the tomato sauce. So similar spices, yes, and similar amounts. So we add to the ground meat parsley, cilantro, pepper, a quarter teaspoon, a quarter teaspoon ginger, quarter teaspoon turmeric, quarter teaspoon cumin. You can always add extra cumin if you like, and quarter teaspoon paprika, and that always says this: salt up to your taste. Here in Morocco, we don't put much salt in our food. Our food is not salty and not spicy. It's mild. Dada Habiba is like kneading, you know, the spices with the ground meat and the parsley and the cilantro. She makes sure everything is very well mixed. It makes it a very delicious mixture. You can, you know, be creative, like put it on the grill, like kebab, and add, you know, the sauce as a side thing to dip it in. Today we're gonna stick to the authentic recipe, you know. There is always ideas that pops up while making something. Now we're gonna make little bullet out of the ground meat. The size of a walnut. Look, please. So we are making little bullet out of the ground meat.
Size of a walnut, you said?
Yes.
Like this big?
Exactly. Very good.
Okay. We're going to have a lot then. I tend to make things big. I'm not from Texas, but it's still pretty big.
Okay. You're going to love it today. Believe me.
Yes. My husband's going to love it. He just popped his head in. And I'm like, not yet.
Oh, nice. It's going to be like a Moroccan lunch.
Yes. We normally, he's Greek. We're Greek. I'm Greek by marriage. But we normally cook with a lot of lamb, but today we're using the ground beef. So
you can use lamb as well, ground lamb.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's going to really produce a lot of these. That's good. You said sometimes you grill these too?
This is something like you can be creative, not authentic, you know, not traditional, but you can be creative to put them on the grill.
Okay.
Yes.
She's faster than me.
She has like 30 years of experience, but she is very patient. Believe me, she is very patient, and she gives you all the time you need to make it. You know,
you just have her keep going. Don't worry about me.
No, still we can wait. We want you to learn. This is the main objective. Dada is saying you need to check on your tomato sauce. Check on it from time to time so it doesn't stick.
Yeah, I put it on a lower heat. It was kind of too high. It was like almost like a boil, so I had to like turn it down.
Yes, you did very well.
All right. So are we putting them in yet, or?
Yes, time to put them in if you are ready. Yalla, Dada.
Okay.
Dada is gonna do that now. So for her, she uses the shape of the tajin to make little circles. So here in Morocco, it's part of the traditions that most of us still eat from the same dish. I mean, if you are a family of 2 or 4 or 5, we share the same, pot. So Dada Habiba is making sure that every one is having some meat in front of them. And also part of our eating habits that we eat with bread and with the right hand. For the right hand, it has Islamic religious reasons, and with the 3 fingers. And you don't have to eat from somebody's part, but you eat just from the part that is in front of you. So just a few hints about the culture here. And we always say in the name of Allah, we say Bismillah when we start eating something.
All right. I have everything in there, and we cover it. Correct?
Exactly. Very good.
Okay.
Sorry, there's. Dada is saying, the ground meat doesn't take too much time to get it cooked. And she is right. If you leave the ground meat for too long in a tajin, it gets dried. It's similar for the ground meat. It's similar to chicken. If you overcook it, it gets dried. Dada Habiba is trying to turn over the little bullets of the ground meat in a gentle way. In a gentle way, not to break the shape of the bullet. Is it clear?
Yes, it is.
Very good.
Mine's not cooking as fast, so we'll just wait. Keep
So,
doing your
Candace,
thing.
Candace, you said that you were using more meat for yours, correct?
I was using more meat.
Well, I thought I heard you say that you had more meat than.
I do.
What,
I'm only cooking small little walnut shells, like shell size. But
okay, but you were mixing like a pound worth, right?
Yeah, that's
okay.
The thing.
That's okay, because we've had some people asking about using more meat with it, so they're just gonna like double the recipe based on the amount of.
Exactly, Maria. Yeah, whenever you.
Right.
So for spices, if they double the amounts, I mean, for the rest of the ingredients, I mean, the meat, if you double the amount of, you make it like 1 kilo of meat, you have to add extra spices, but no more than like 1 teaspoon for the whole amount. Otherwise, it will be too much for the spices. So what
Sure.
matters here is the quantity of the spices. You can add as much meat as you want, but for the spices, you should be careful. So if you cook for up to 4 people, the amount of spices, it should be like a half teaspoon for the whole thing. But if you are cooking for up to like 6, 8, 10 people, it should be like 1 teaspoon. You make sure everything is very well seasoned.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Maria. Mm-hmm.
I don't have consistent size either, so.
Dada Habiba is breaking, look, please.
Okay.
She's breaking an egg. She put it in a little bowl. You can do the same. She does this not to break the yellow, the yolk of the egg. So she does this one by one. And the same for the eggs. You can add as much eggs as you want.
Is she only using the egg yolk?
No. The reason why she is using the bowl, it's not to break the egg yolk, but she is using whole egg.
Whole egg. Okay. Just want to make sure. And then you put that in with it.
You can place it in the middle.
Okay.
Like one here, one here. You can be creative at this part. You can put it anywhere you would like.
Got it. You want to make sure not to break it, you said.
Yeah, it's for decoration reasons, you know.
Oh. Well, there
You know,
go.
in the Moroccan cuisine, everything should be refined, you know, because we have a saying that you eat with the eye before you eat with your mouth. So if everything is served in a nice way, beautiful way, it gives you the appetite to try it. But if everything is mixed in a, you know, a messy way, oh, what's that? We hesitate to, you know. I think this is everywhere. Huh?
So are you prepping something else?
You know, while leaving the egg to cook with the ground meat, we're going to show you how to make a very delicious tea, which is called Saffron Tea.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you about it. But before jumping into this, I just would like to make sure for the eggs, it depends how do you like them to be. Very well cooked, half cooked. So if it is half cooked, please make sure you have them the right way you want. Here in Morocco, we tend to cook them very well. Well, whenever you are the guest of a Moroccan family, it's a sign of hospitality and warm welcoming to welcome you by a Moroccan welcoming drink. And the Moroccan welcoming drink is either mint tea, which is very popular. I would say it's the second main drink after water in Morocco, or saffron tea. Saffron tea, you don't hear about it a lot because it's something that is fancy. It's something that we serve only for special occasions, or when we are having like a very special guests like you ladies today and the other audience. So what you are going to witness today is a very luxurious Moroccan drink. Dada never forgets about something. She always check in on the thing she's preparing. So Dada Habiba is gonna add now some chopped parsley and cilantro on top of the eggs. So this is like her garnish for the tagine. You can chop like a teaspoon or a tablespoon of parsley and cilantro. And I think, Dada, Safi Baraka, the tagine is ready, really tasty. It smells amazing. You can have it with some crusty bread, crispy bread, pita bread, whatever you have, baguette, whatever you have available in your kitchen.
Yeah, mine smells fantastic. It's not quite ready yet, but it's getting close.
You got to get your hubby in there to taste it when it's done and let us know how it is.
Yes, we definitely will. I'll take a picture and post it in the meetup. I also have a Lebanese restaurant by us called Ike's, and I always get their fresh bread. So this will be what I use.
Nice. What about if you open a Moroccan restaurant?
Right. We do need one.
We do extra cooking classes. You'll be a certified chef, then ready to go to launch the business.
That'll be perfect.
Yeah, you're
I'll
feeding all of
invite
us.
my girlfriend,
you know that, right?
Christine. She's a great cook too.
You know,
Very
you're feeding
nice.
all of us, right, Candace?
That's right.
Hasna, how long does it take to become a certified Moroccan chef?
Well, here in Morocco, to learn Moroccan cooking, we learn it from our grandmoms, our moms, elder sisters. But if you are like a foreigner, you come and we teach you. Well, the Moroccan cuisine, it has so many dishes, but to make sure like we can do you a training for like 2 weeks, extensive a bit. So we try to cover all of the dishes. You can take a cooking class. We had people who took classes like for 1 week, for 2 weeks, until they say, "Stop, I'm done. I learned like a good deal." There is always something, to learn.
Oh,
It's
look at Candace's close up on her dish. Can you see it?
No, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I wanted to
it-
post it. I'll do it again.
It was there and it went away. Well, Hasna, that sounds like an amazing bucket list item. And I would encourage anyone who is, I don't actually think I need to encourage people at this point, but if it's something that's on your bucket list, get going. Now's the time.
Wonderful.
We'll be very happy to teach you, ladies. Well, Dada Habiba wants to show you how she makes the saffron tea. Well, for the ingredients, it's a must to have saffron, and not, any saffron. It's Moroccan saffron, which is considered to be one of the best saffrons in the world. This saffron comes from Telouin. It's the south of Morocco, and the region is protected by the UNESCO because the saffron that is produced there is considered one of the best saffrons in the world. And Morocco is the second producer of this spice after Iran. Iran produces 80% of it, but Morocco some of the other percentage, because there is still France, Italy, the US, England. So Moroccan saffron is red, as you see. It's like dark red, and it has a musky smell, like the smell of mud. Once you put it in water, the water turns yellow and you can see through the water. This is pure saffron. Just one advice: whenever you use Moroccan saffron or any other pure saffron, you should be careful with the amount. Don't overuse it. Use just a little pinch. Otherwise, if you use more than that, it's going to give you a stomachache. And saffron, as you see, it's small pistils that comes from a crocus, a very tiny crocus, a little flower, and every flower has 3 pistils or 3 stamens. So to make 1 pound of pure saffron, it takes you to harvest 70,000 of those little crocuses, which is labor intense. This is what makes it so expensive. And the season of harvesting saffron in Morocco is November. If you come here to Morocco on November, you can arrange a trip to see the fields where they grow saffron. It's very interesting to see because you have to use huge, land to grow just, to get 1 pound of saffron. And tea, we have Chinese green tea. Chinese green tea isn't something Moroccan. It's introduced by the English people in the 18th century. It was a drink of the elites. Later on, it spread all over the country. And mint tea is something that is typically Moroccan. Whenever you hear mint tea, it's always this fusion of Chinese green tea and mint. Today, we're going to make it with saffron, special for you. And sugar. Sugar, we use beet sugar, which is more natural, less processed. And if you are in Morocco, the sweeter it is, for the tea, the more you are welcomed. So don't hesitate to drink from a very sweet cup of tea because they are happy with your coming. So this is something that is important to know, because sometimes, if you don't drink tea, very sweet, you just say no. But here it's impolite to say no. Just grab it. If you don't like it, you put it down. Few hints while you come and experience Morocco.
There's
You
a
need
question, Hassana,
Please.
about the welcome drink. Is it the same as the morito, or how is it said?
Morojito. Morojito is
Morojito, yes.
yes. Morojito, most of the time it's served like during tea time, like late afternoon in a hot summer day or in a spring day. You can serve it instead of tea, saffron tea or mint tea. It's a very fresh, drink. Now, the Habiba is going to use a Moroccan metal pot. So we don't use ceramic pots. Here we have Moroccan metal pots that comes with a filter. Now we're going to put the tea in the teapot. The amount, when you are at home and you want to try it, it should be a half teaspoon per person of the tea. Half teaspoon for one person. The next step is adding a glass of hot water. As you are gonna see, it's a whole ritual. It's a whole process. You need to follow certain steps to make it. After you add the hot glass of water to the tea, we're gonna keep the teapot still. Don't move it for like a minute. We try to infuse the tea leaves in the hot water and get the first essence of the tea, the first flavor. Our tea is always served in a glass. There is a reason why, there is a science behind. If you serve tea in a glass, which is a thick glass, it doesn't break if you put something hot in it. It keeps the flavor, the glass keeps the flavor. But if you put it in a ceramic cup, it changes the flavor. Something to note that is very important. Dada Habiba added, so this is the second step. She added another glass of hot water. Once she adds the second glass, this time she doesn't wait. What she does, she swish around the teapot, and this is to wash the tea leaves from all of its impurities. Can you see the color of the second glass, which is muddy? So 2 glasses. So the first glass, which is clear, this is called the spirit of the tea. This, the Habiba is gonna add it back to the teapot. But the muddy glass, we give it to the mother-in-law. This is bitter. Someone you don't like. You like that, Maria?
Yeah, that's good.
We put the first glass and we fill the teapot with the water. The Habiba added the enough amount to fill her teapot with water, of the tea. Now she's gonna put the teapot on the heat. And so, as I said, it's a metal pot. In Morocco, there are silver pots that are fancy, but you cannot use them on the heat. So whenever you would like the appropriate teapot, you ask for a metal pot that you can use. We put it on the heat and we don't boil the tea. As you know, if you boil it, it gets bitter. Once we see the tea leaves floating up, the water, we take it off the heat. By the way, tea making is not something done by women. So back in history, it's the men who makes the tea. Easy things. And he is the one who hosts the guests. It's not the women. And it's done as a ceremony. He sit in the sitting room. The wife brings him some charcoal with boiling water, the setup we have here, and he keeps chatting with the guests. And at the same time, he makes tea for them. Dada Habiba is putting a little pinch of saffron and sugar.
Very good.
She puts a little bit of sugar. You can add extra sugar or less sugar. But as I told you before, it's very sweet here. Do you know the reason why we pour tea from high? No? It's to impress you.
Tori says her meatballs are done and they're fantastic. And she used ground turkey today. So
Oh, nice.
mine are done too. I'm just waiting for my husband to come up. I'm going to serve him. I know you're supposed to eat it out of the pot, but we're going to put it on a plate.
I'm sure he's going to enjoy that.
Yeah. I'll show you a picture.
Thank you. Actually, the reason why tea is poured from high, it's to oxygenate the tea. Whenever you oxygenate the tea, it enhances the flavor. And Dada is, virtually serving you this very delicious drink. Thank you, Dada. Shukran.
Thank you.
Shukran is in Arabic, thank you, shukran. And as you see, the glass, it's called the Berber whiskey, or the Berber, what we call beer, because we drink lots of tea here in Morocco. دابا نديرو مروخيتو ايه. And now Dada Habiba is gonna show us how to make the morojito. For the morojito, I mean, for people who drink alcohol, they can add to it. Since here most people do not drink alcohol, so they go without alcohol. Let me introduce you to the ingredients that the Habiba will be using for the morojito. I think the ingredients are available everywhere, and believe me, it's a very delicious and fresh drink. So what we have got here, we have got pineapple juice, we've got mint syrup, we've got fresh mint leaves, and a lemon. But it's made of lime. Something very important to know. We make it with lime, but it's not the season here in Morocco, so we couldn't find it. We are using a lemon, but if you have lime available, you can use lime instead. Dada takes the top and the bottom of the lemon and she takes off the seeds, if there are any seeds or baby seeds. She takes off the white part that are in the middle. And she dig with the head of the knife if there are any seeds, baby seeds. Mhm. So she puts everything in the glass. So we have the mint leaves in the glass. We have got. Uh-huh. So she puts 3/4. And for the syrup, she puts 2 to 3 tablespoons of the syrup, the mint syrup. And she pours apple juice, pineapple juice. And now she's gonna grind it. She's gonna put it in the mixer. Mhm. That is gonna mix this in the kitchen. I'm gonna repeat for the ingredients. Very easy to find. So we have got fresh mint leaves. We've got mint syrup, lime, and pineapple juice. Then you take a mixer, you grind everything together. After that, you serve it in a glass with some ice cubes. And you can serve it. Do you have any questions?
No questions, but it sounds refreshing.
Very
Yeah,
refreshing, Maria.
It sounds great. I will tell you, my husband said the kefta is fantastic. He's enjoying it right now.
Oh, nice. We say in Arabic, بالصحة. Tell him بالصحة.
Basaha.
It means to your health. Cheers.
To your
In
health.
Arabic.
Cheers.
By the way, also for the saffron tea, you remember the step when we added the little pinch of pure saffron? You can add a bunch of fresh mint to the tea instead of pure saffron. Skip the saffron, add a bunch of fresh mint. Crush the mint and add it to the tea, and then you have mint tea. It's made the same way with the same process. And if you would like extra recipes for time constraints, we cannot show you everything today. Feel free to email us for extra dishes that you would like to learn. We will be happy to share it with you.
Great.
Well,
Thank
you
you
know,
for
though,
everything.
since Morocco's open, I think we need to go taste it in person.
I think we do. And I'm trying it right now, my recipe, but it's fantastic.
I think we need to plan something for the beginning in November so we can be there for the saffron harvest.
Oh, great idea.
Oh, nice.
So if you all will, whatever channel you came to us through, be it a meetup group, Facebook group, a website, an email, get your thoughts on whether you'd like to join an eat, drink, and travel group to Morocco in November of this year, and we'll make it happen if that's something you all want to do.
All right, Candace. I know you're still got a mouthful, but you gotta let us know. How is it?
It is fantastic. Fantastic.
Excellent, chef.
I love the egg.
Great job, Candace.
Thanks, Angela.
Our Dada is coming. Hi, Dada.
Oh, that looks good.
Oh, yum.
Really,
Oh my gosh.
really nice.
I wish I would have
Look
got
at
that
this.
ingredients for that.
So refreshing looking. Oh my goodness.
Well, yeah, especially like for everybody down here in Florida, we're having mid 80 temperatures already. So this is a perfect afternoon drink.
Bravo,
Beautiful.
Dada.
So yummy. This is making me terribly hungry right now.
Yeah, this is where I wish I lived closer to Candace. I'd be like, I'm coming right there afterwards to eat.
Really nice, Dada. Excellent. Look at this. How
Oh,
beautiful it is. So colorful, so yummy, so tasty. Thank you, Dada. Shukran.
Shukran. Thank you so much.
And we are waiting for your visit, and we promise you these dishes and other things that you'll have fun enjoying, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. And we're getting a lot of feedback from the chat saying thank you as well, that it looks amazing. Got a couple people saying they're going to make it later today as well.
Nice.
Oh, fantastic. Again, share your pictures. We want to see how it turned out.
I know I'm going to put mine in the chat for everybody, or actually not this chat because I tried, but in the meetup group, I will.
Do so on the Facebook page too, Candace.
Right, I will.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, Dana and Hasna, thank you so much for sharing this with us today. We truly appreciate it. We know you're going to enjoy lunch and just, well, I guess maybe an appetizer before dinner. I keep forgetting about the time difference from here in the States.
We are sure we're gonna enjoy it. I always enjoy eating her dishes. So yummy and tasty. Thank you, Dada. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Hasna.
Thank you.
Outside of Morocco. And please feel free to ask questions or to email us. We will be very happy to answer all of your questions. And good luck by, trying to do it at home. And I'm sure it's something really easy. The ingredients are easy to find, and you're gonna love it.
Most definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so
Post in
much.
the chat the meetup groups links. Maria will do that again right now. And then you can also save the chat because there were some people asking how to connect to us through the meetups and that kind of thing.
Yep, and we will also be sending out a follow-up email that'll have this information as well. However, I'm going to go ahead and reclaim the host so I can share my screen again.
while you're doing that, Maria, I just want to share with everyone, if you go to the chat and you look at the three little dots at the bottom right corner, there, if you click on them, it says save chat, and then you can save all of the contact information, all of the links, all the answers to questions, all the Moroccan words, all the clarifications for everything. You can have it after this and you're good to go. Also, I like to share with people that the telecast or recording is available through the link that you received to access in the beginning for about a week, and then it shows up and is downloaded to the Facebook group, meetup group, or not meetup groups, YouTube channels. Some of us have it on our websites. There are any number of ways that you can get the recording after it is no longer available on demand through your original link.
Yeah, and I saw somebody posted that on a Mac, they don't see it. We'll make sure to get you the information in the follow-up link as well. So we won't leave you hanging, I promise. Now, as a thank you for attending today, we have a very special offer of dinner for two to La Maison Arabi's restaurant for when you visit Morocco. The only caveat is you need to book within the next 2 weeks. So we would need to get the booking by April 10th. And it's good for up to 2 years worth in advance. So even if you want to book now, travel later, which we're highly recommending because as travel is opening up around the world and Morocco is open now, a lot of availability has already been filled because others haven't been able to travel this past year. A lot of things that were scheduled for last year were rebooked to this year, and because they're not able to travel now, rebooked to next year. So Morocco's on your list. We really want to be able to get you there, hopefully sooner than later since they're open and you're comfortable traveling, but we want to make sure that you're also able to take advantage and you can eat this very same recipe if you'd like from the hotel. Let's see. I love Morocco. It's a real challenge up to all 5 senses, which I think you guys just saw. Now, again, smaller vision for this would have been a lot better. However, you got to see everything going together. You heard from a couple people in the chat saying that they tried it. They were cooking along with us and it came out phenomenally. Candace said hers came out fantastic. So again, this is the perfect destination to challenge your senses. Actually, before I get to that, any questions about what we just experienced today? Want to make sure that we can get them answered if there are any. I can't see the chat on my end with full screen, so if any of you can let me know if there are any chats or any questions in the chat.
Everyone was just saying thanks a lot and they really enjoyed the presentation.
Wonderful. We're so glad that you were able to join us. So moving forward, we have a very special presentation on March 30th, which we are heading to Japan. But because of that, we're holding a contest because it is National Take a Virtual Vacation Day. So to enter, we would like you to pick a vacation destination. You can stage a selfie based on it and like dress up for the destination if you'd like, make a recipe from that destination, anything you'd like to showcase a virtual vacation and send that to us, or submit your favorite photo from one of your travels and identify the location and caption the photo. Caveat to this, it's due by noon tomorrow Central Time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain, and 10 a.m. Pacific. We will pick the winner live on our March 30th virtual vacation to Japan.
And Heidi's going to be the
present.
host.
Yes, you must be present to win. And we are planning some surprises throughout the event as well. This is one you are definitely going to want to attend live, no question about it. And it's going to be great. Hope to see you there Tuesday. That's only a couple days away.
We'll have the links to register for that if you haven't done so already in our follow-ups as well. So as we mentioned, this Tuesday, Japan, April 13th, we'll be visiting the road to ranches for dude ranches here in the United States. On April 27th, we will be following up with Croatia. We have links where you can follow us on Instagram listed below as well. Don't worry about taking a screenshot. We're going to get you all this information. Let's see. And for those of you who are into music and are familiar with Robert Plant, and I hope I'm not dating myself with this, Morocco is a living, pulsating entity, which is rapidly changing all the time, but there are parts of Marrakech that carry on as they've done for thousands of years. The music is a reflection of that, of all times and all religions, and of all the natural expectations and conditions of the people who live there. What a truly authentic way to be able to visit